Happy Saturday and welcome to Ramashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you will learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Shivangi and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, let me give you a brief overview of the Satsang session. If you will direct your attention to the screen, you will see that the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method where we may obtain peace, light, and love in our lives. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of satsang. When we meditate, our consciousness is drawn from worldly objects and directed inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, leading us to higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsang, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to peace, light, and love. This is the type of satsang we will learn today, where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy that we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today's session consists of three sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, instructions on how to meditate will be given, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you will have the opportunity to ask questions or there will be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang. He was born into a satsang family where he witnessed his family members obtaining states of enlightenment and live lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. During that time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. Upon arriving in the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangis. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Welcome everyone. We talk about the five steps again. Maybe we should just quickly revisit and after the session, maybe talk about some of the core aspects of those five steps. I think there were two things that were running in my head today. So you want if you bring the five steps. Yeah. We do talk about light, love, and peace as That's what we would get if we continue to deepen and broaden satsang practice. So interestingly, when I looked at this pyramid again, so if right at the top above the five levels was the ocean of peace. The second one, the realm of love, would be the unconditional love, pure love. So peace at the top and absolutely pure unconditional love in the realm of love. And the knowledge is also light. I mean, in the light we see clearly. So that's pretty much, interestingly, is light, love, and peace. That kind of describes the top of this pyramid in some ways. So that was one thing, that when we talk about light, love, and peace, it's actually, that's what you would embody if you reach those stages. The second thing was that when you turn towards exploring your purpose, exploring who I am, exploring how I can be more self-aware, more think about consciousness, as soon as you do that, you move from the realm of the world into the realm of life. And typically, as we have been talking about, like breathing exercises, chanting, pilgrimage, reading scriptures, any effort, quote unquote, like when you make an effort, because I always tell people that effort versus effortless. So meditation to me is going from effort to effortless. So realm of life is where physical activity is important. It is the focus, and the physical activity then takes you to a point where you realize that your mind is getting concentrated. So if you're chanting, for example, or if you're even go to the church, if you actually don't get distracted and you are in it, then you find that you are calming your mind. So as soon as you realize that the effort that I'm making is actually calming my mind, so then you cross the realm of life into realm of mind, because now your focus becomes, how do I go further in from calming my mind to more almost like controlling or toning my mind. And that is where your focus becomes the mind itself. So manifestations, concentration, and deep, effortless meditation, quote unquote, becomes the focus. So that's the realm of mind. And when you actually get into those deeper states where your mind is unwavering, you suddenly realize things that you were not realizing. So some dormant intellectual capabilities show up. They just show up. And that's the realm of knowledge. You now start perceiving very abstract things. He's saying that you think through situations more neutrally and use reason. I think the way I would describe it is that when, with my mental powers that I gained in the realm of mind, I look at any subject, any object, anything that I have to process with my brain, I suddenly find that I have like a lot more clarity than ever before. And that's realm of knowledge. When I am able to realize that love thy neighbor is actually not just a statement, it's my internal state, then my love for the environment, the caring, the compassion, the kindness, and all that, it's your another maturity step, and how I am interconnected with everything in my environment. And that just opens up my inner being to this out of body experience. And then I'm at peace. So, a very quick description of how we mature through this pyramid. And the reason I love this, other than like it just talks about like how you focus from body to focus on breathing, to focus on the mind, to focus on your brain, to focus on your identity and resolving your ego into the bigger entity beyond us. And that's like literally in my view, the definition of higher consciousness. So all this, just one of the aspects I like about this is that it kind of inherently shows that one, we can improve, two, there is a long way to go for all of us to just continue the journey and go deeper or go higher on the pyramid, so to say. All right, on that note, let's practice. And then I think I would like to at least have some discussion on this today after the session. So, standard approach that Guru Maharaj perfected, and basically not only concentrates your mind, but gives you a glimpse of the realm of knowledge in the sense that of light, in which you quote unquote enlighten your inner being. And then by becoming one with that, you are moving towards the realm of love, as well as becoming an observer, which is so essential to this accent, to moving upwards. Relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed, and think of this transcendental light in front of us that's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and that we are becoming one with this energy, one with this light. Mind wanders away, then bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this light is in front of us, entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are getting completely immersed in this light. So we'll have music before the meditation and after for transition in and transition out. Let's start now.
Um, Namaste, Arvind Uh,
Namaskar and happy Saturday, everybody. That was very blissful indeed. Puji Sanjeev Bhaiya has got other commitments, so he's kindly asked me to say a few words. But if I may, and he'd asked me to do a write up on resilience and satsang. So light, love, and peace to all of us, and may Guru Maharaj's blessings be with all of us. If I may, I'll start to read what Puja Bhaiya has asked me to say today, if I may. So, mental resilience and meditation. We tend to think of toughness in the physical sense, our ability to complete a hike in cold weather or work long hours without breaks. But quote unquote toughness can apply to what the mind is capable of too. With a strong, resilient mind, we can better manage our thoughts, emotions, and energy. When we're faced with stress or challenging situations. And ultimately, we gain the ability to remain cool, calm, and collected no matter what we're up against. And this satsang actually, over time, brings us to that sort of stage where we develop resilience. So, a regular meditation practice, as we do, can make a world of difference for your mental health as well. It has been clinically proven that your brain will physically transform after 8 to 12 weeks of regular meditation practice, around 10 to 30 minutes daily, because our brains are constantly changing and morphing. And Sanjeev Bhaiya has previously mentioned this, is known as neuroplasticity, where our brains actually morph and change in response to meditation. So with regular meditation practice, for example, the pain and anxiety center of the brain known as amygdala, which is the center which deals with emotions and senses, begins to actually shrink in size. And the part of brain, which is the calming part, which is the brakes, if you will, that is called the frontal lobe. It grows in size. So you can decrease levels of anxiety, pain, and depression, and actually increase rational thinking and positive thought. So there is actually anxiety reduction. And with that, also the hormone we make called cortisol, serum cortisol reduces as well. And we know from lots of evidence that cortisol is toxic to parts of the brain, such as the memory part called hippocampus. So proper meditation practices, as we do here in Satsang, actually reduces the stress on those important memory and anxiety parts of the brain. So there is greater general well-being. And that studies have shown that regular meditation practice can help us regulate our emotions in challenging and taxing situations, strongly associated with structural neuroplasticity and increased cortical thickness of the gray matter. And that, in fact, their studies have compared even Einstein's brain, and it showed that key regions in the brain, such as prefrontal cortex, amygdala, and hippocampus, there is extensive impact of meditation on these parts of brain. Plenty of published evidence. So while resilience doesn't happen overnight, mindfulness, especially the type of meditation Sanjeev Bhaiya, Guru Maharaj advised us to practice with light, love, peace, transcendental meditation can help us cultivate mental toughness. But like any habit, it takes time and practice. As Headspace co-founder and a former Buddhist monk, Andy Paricombe, he noted, as they say, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But nothing could be truer than that when it comes to meditation, it requires patience to sit with the mind on a regular basis and be present whenever whatever arises. Particularly, the benefit comes from group practice meditation, as Sanjeev ji often says. So, with practice, we learn to sit through any discomfort, and the difficult thoughts and thoughts will come. You observe the thoughts as they come. Thoughts and feelings, you let them go as time goes. So, it's from this space we created to be kind to ourselves that we can build mental toughness and resilience. So that was my brief few words to say. Light, love, and peace. If anyone wants to discuss or say something, please do so. Any comments from anyone? Any thoughts?
Namaste, Arvinji. This is Shivangi.
Namaskar, Shivangi.
I just want to say that these sessions have been a lifeline, and I'm so fortunate that I'm able to join every Saturday and sit with everyone and just take some time away, and just find some peace. So it's just been just really helpful to um, just take some time away from everything, from all the chaos, and just try to find some peace together. So I'm just really grateful to Sanjeev Priyaji, Guru Maharaj, and just this collective satsang energy. So really grateful and very happy to be here.
Likewise, we're all fortunate. It's almost as Sanjeev Bhaiya says sometimes, you have a hot stone in summer and you immerse that very hot burning stone in some ice cold water and how it cools down. And, it's almost having the mind and the stress of the world. And then you sit in this satsang and there are no words that can really, in my humble thought, describe the bliss and the calm peace. It's incredible, like an oasis in a desert. Yeah. So we're fortunate, for all of us. Any other thoughts, please share. Steve, any thoughts today?
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Beautiful what you had to share. I've been to some learning in the brain conferences. They have these for educators in Boston and San Francisco, and your knowledge of neuroscience, I think, is just fantastic. I always enjoy listening to you. This week with school starting up, we had a back to school night, and I was able to speak to parents, and I think we've all had teachers that we look up to and admire. And I talked a little bit about John Wooden, who was a famous basketball coach and teacher, and he had all these little sayings, and so I just tried to share some of those ideas with them. But one was that good values attract good people, and so as students come into the classroom, we need to keep working on ourselves and trying to be better. And when we make that upward climb, I think it draws good people to us. And I think that's the beauty of this group, is that good values attract good people. And another little cliche that he would always use is that we should make each day our masterpiece. And gathering together in the presence of good people and positive thought, and, just working on our minds and getting rid of that cortisol. Another little cliche he had was that emotion is the enemy. And when we can rid ourselves of those negative thoughts, the stress and just take time to slow down. I think that's so beneficial. Those are all ideas that I think you're sharing today. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for sharing this. So important. In fact, teachers are key. We're all students, aren't we? To Sanjeev Bhaiya's meditation, transcendental meditation process, which is selfless, teaches us to be selfless and reduce our egos. Perhaps that is one of the key things. Is with time, as Guru Maharaj always followed his guru, and Sanjeev ji follows Guru Maharaj, and we're all trying to follow Sanjeev ji. It's almost like ascent. He describes, two types of energy, as you know. One is the negative energy, that's a faster flowing downward stream, that's full of emotion, full of reactivity, full of response to stress, quick response to stress, and there's a positive energy which is slower and flows upwards, but that is an upwards flow, which is calming energy. And the important thing Sanjeev often says is that you follow the, you in satsang, you need that help. So ascent of Mount Everest, for example, we can all climb to a level, but unless we're really experts, you need an expert to help you make that final ascent, just like teachers are needed in school kids, in kindergarten, nobody taught, if nobody taught us, we wouldn't know the whole alphabet, would we? Never mind neuroscience, Now I'm retired. I used to practice. But I'm just saying that, there is nothing, everything we learn from somebody else. And in this case, we're learning from Puja Sanjeev Bhaiya. We're fortunate. And as I said, the collective energy, isn't it? It's incredible. I mean, I ain't seen nothing like this. And I'm 66 years old. I promise you that. Yeah, lucky to join. Gee, and I think KP Singh Saab, you wanted to say something?
Namaskar. Happy Saturday to all of you. What is the neuro reason for wandering of mind? Mind wanders so fast. What are the reasons?
Yeah, I mean, as Sanjeev Bhaiya often says, the mind has its own direction. As I was mentioning briefly, the negative energy is always there. The neuro reason is that there is a part of the mind that is sensitive and that's reactive. It's meant to be that way, from animal kingdom to human kingdom, and that part of the brain. Some people call it amygdala. Some people, it's just above the brainstem, and that part of the brain is full of emotion. It's got neurochemicals like dopamine and other neurochemicals that are reactive, and so brain is basically like a bunch of wires with some chemical, you see, and these neurochemicals react to emotion, happiness, sorrow, pain. So, and it's like a sine wave in physics, up and down. We all react, and we keep going like the waves of an ocean. And satsang is almost like the deeper part of the ocean. It teaches you to go deep within yourself. So when we go deep and look inward, it's like giving up. The waves will always be there outside. But what satsang is teaching us, what Sanjeev Bhaiya is teaching us, what Guru Maharaj is teaching us, is to go deep. So it's like going away from the big wavy ocean. Deeper down is quieter. The deeper you go, it's calmer and it's quieter. Same way meditation, from the amygdala, you go towards the frontal lobe. And basically, the brain scans, in the modern brain scans, show that actually doing this kind of meditation, the amygdala shrinks in size. The nervous part of the brain, the anxious part of the brain, the sensory part of the brain, the reactive part of the brain shrinks in size. And the part of the brain that is like the brake, putting the brake on a fast going car, that part gets bigger. That part calms down the emotion. It also calms the autonomic nervous system. So it makes parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calmer part of the nervous system, more active. It reduces the activity of the sympathetic nervous system, which causes cortisol to go up in the body, for example. And that cortisol causes roughening of the arteries and more glucose in the blood, and all the complications like fatty liver and brain changes and that. So there's plenty of research evidence neurologically that actually things like deep transcendental meditation benefit the brain directly, chemically and structurally, both way. So emotions are built in the human being already. Yeah, already there. And the emotions are shown to be calmer if we use ourself, the transcendental energy, to go deeper in ourself. And it really works. So,
What are happy hormones, and how it is generated? Uh, Please explain something about it.
well, I mean, there are multiple hormones, and basically there is no single happy hormone, but happy hormone, too much happy hormone is also leads to desire and reactivity. For example, some people call dopamine and similar hormones happy hormone. Yeah, serotonin also more happiness. So in people who are depressed, you give serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and in sometimes adrenaline is also gives you a little bit of happiness, a kick. But these are all just reactive hormones. You see, balance of these hormones, the balance that satsang, the meditation, for example, brings, and to some degree good exercise also brings that balance. That balance is important. So the answer to your question is, there are so-called happy hormones, but they are not all good for you. Too much happy hormone without balance is actually very harmful for our existence. Yeah.
Thank you, Ved. Thank you very much.
May Guru Maharaj bless us all. Any other thoughts or questions, things to share? If not, then I think it's past the hour. With Sanjeev Bhaiya's permission, hopefully we look forward to meeting again next Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. Namaskar. May Guru Maharaj's light, love, and peace be with all of us. Om Sham.
Namaste.
Namaskar.